Welcome back, y'all. And today we're going to be talking about different shotgun shells. Uh, what is 2 3/4, 3 inches, double aught buck and slugs, and the applications thereof. Now these are seem very basic to a lot of people, but this channel is a very basic channel, and it's made to help newcomers into the community understand basic questions and help answer basic questions that some other channels that may I say are too high speed or have their own select viewing group may not answer for these people. And that's what this channel is for, because I'm a basic guy. So let's get into it. So today, a shotgun, inherently referred to as a scatter gun, is normally most common conception of it is you pull the trigger and it shoots a spread of pellets out, right? That would be correct. But there's a lot of different other shotgun shells or loads that can have many other applications. So we're going to start with the most common size of a shotgun shell, which would be 2 3/4. By that, it is the length of the shell, 2 3/4 inches. That's how long the shotgun shell is. Now, we're going to be going over 2 3/4. Where did I put them at? Nope. There we go. Excuse me. We're going to be going over 2 3/4 buckshot, double aught. Now, double aught 00 refers to the size of the actual pellets in the shotgun shell, which I believe, if memory serves correct, is 0.32 or 0.34 inches in diameter. So, in a 2 3/4 inch double aught buck 00, they usually have either 8 to 9, or in this case, if it's a certain defensive loads, have 12. Now, the purpose of buckshot is also can be hunting, birds, game, anything really, if you had a mind to. But its main purpose is defense, because each of these pellets here, what do they look like to you? They look like it's about this almost the same size of a 9mm, and you have 8 to 9 or 12 in this case coming out of the shotgun barrel at 1,600 feet a second. That is destructive. That is stops whatever is in front of you, or whatever's trying to hurt you, or whatever animal you may be trying to hunt. It stops it. So buckshot and double aught buckshot are pellets. The O, single O, double O, referred to as commonly double aught, is size of pellets. Length of shell, 2 3/4. Now we have some. Let's move on to what do we look at now? We got some Federal Power Shock 12 gauge 3-inch double aught buck. As you can see, this is 2 3/4 3-inch. Put them right here so you can see at the edge here. If I can hold my hand still, the 3-inch is slightly longer than the 2 3/4. Now, the only advantage in 3-inch shells is sometimes you may have less ammo capacity in your tube or magazine, but having 12 in here, or most of the time 8 to 9 pellets of the same size, in a 3-inch you can have up to 15 of those same size pellets. So it's a lot more power and a lot more destructive force. But the only downside of that is ammo capacity. And oftentimes a lot of shotguns will not chamber 3-inch shells. But it is definitely the go-to. Anything 3-inch is definitely go-to if you want more power, if you want more destructive force. Now, let's move on to our slugs here. We have some Federal Premium True Ball hollow point 1-ounce slugs. Now, these are rifled slugs. By rifled slugs, that means the sides of these, I know you can't see it from here, but the sides are cut like a rifled barrel. And these are made for rifled shotgun barrels. Now, you can shoot them out of a smoothbore. Your accuracy may not be nearly as good, but you can. But the cool thing about shotguns is once you put a slug in here, now these are 2 3/4 inches, but once you put a slug in a shotgun, it basically turns that weapon into a short-range rifle with ungodly amount of stopping power, or destructive force, or ballistic, or whatever term you want to put behind that. It turns it into it's 1 ounce of lead, a whole ounce of single block of lead, going anywhere from 15 to, in some loads, 1,800 feet a second. It's ridiculous. Now, the advantage of having slugs in your shotgun, it turns it into a much more accurate weapon. That means you can hunt, deer, big game out at distance. And these slugs here, for example, let me find it here. Now, these Hornady slugs are specifically made for rifled barrels, but those slugs are accurate up to 200 meters, 2 football fields, or 200 yards, excuse me, but roughly 2 football fields in length. You can accurately shoot these and have predictable groups with these slugs out of a shotgun that's designed to be shooting predominantly buckshot. And there's no real mechanic. You don't have to change anything in your shotgun to do that. You simply put load set slug in your magazine or your tube, and it turns into a rifle that shoots 1 ounce pieces of you're done. Yeah, forever box. Yeah. But you got your buckshot and you got your slugs. These are 2 main common rounds, double aught and double O, meaning the size of the pellets in the shell. The more O's, the bigger the pellets. Then you have your slugs. Some are rifled and some are not. Some are hollow point, some are not. But majority of the time, they will be standard 2 3/4 inch, 1 ounce slugs. Now, I don't have any on hand. If I could, I'd show you. But they do make 3-inch slugs, which are more than 1 ounce, or 1 ounce, but getting pushed out that barrel a lot faster because it has more room in the casing to put more powder. But all that being said, that is, I like to think, a basic rundown of your 2 main shotgun shells and their purpose, and really how they can be applied in a shotgun. Like, you really wouldn't want to use slugs for home defense, because you may have kids. If you're single, by all means. But buckshot double aught is what's mainly used in defense because it's inherent spread. Now, also, people think shotguns, everything's dictated by your choke, which is, we'll get into that later. But it's mainly produced by what type of quality ammo and what type of ammo you have. But shotguns are more than just my daddy's shotgun that he gave me, and I'll keep it in the corner for home defense. You can do there's so many applications you can do with a shotgun simply by changing the ammo. And there's plenty of other types other than these. These are just 2 of the most common and 2 of the most drastic differences in applications with said ammo. So, hope you learned something if you're new to this, gun stuff, and if you're not, well, thanks for listening. I'll catch you on the flip.